MEP Thierry Mariani said that the resolution is Pakistan's attempt to defame India.
See the hand of Pakistan pulling the strings behind this campaign. Pakistan flouts all international agreements and we still give them the GSP plus status.
It's important to note that the resolution was moved by Pakistani origin British MEP Shafaq Mohammed. Meanwhile, welcoming the postponement, New Delhi has said that it was the victory of India's friends over Pakistan's. Indian government has slammed the resolution, saying that it interfered in a sovereign and democratic nation's internal affairs. For more details, let's quickly go across to our principal diplomatic correspondent, Siddhant Sibal, who is joining me live at the moment from New Delhi. Siddhant, a very good morning to you. This indeed is good news for India, even though this move has been termed as a diplomatic victory for India. What has prompted this move? We are being told it's something to do with Prime Minister Modi's upcoming visit to Brussels in March.
Nobody likes an awkward moment just before a guest arrives, and Brussels and New Delhi would not have liked the fact that the Indian Prime Minister is visiting for the India-EU summit. And this is a crucial summit because both are set to revive the long-pending FTA that will help both the European Union and India, and of course the European Union without UK. So that of course remains the focus, but it was delayed primarily for two things. One, of course, the expected summit which is going to take place on 13th of March, and also because of the visit of the Indian External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar. Remember, he is going to Brussels on in February, and this visit is a precursor visit before the visit of the Indian Prime Minister. That will give opportunity for New Delhi to explain to the leadership there, to the MPs, how New Delhi views and making sure that there will be no refugee crisis, as it's been claimed by certain segment in Europe. And of course, we have seen New Delhi also saying that if any MEP has any issue, he can reach out to New Delhi. New Delhi will explain. We have seen New Delhi twice this week saying that CAA, the Citizenship Amendment Law, is an internal matter of India. And of course, we have seen anxiety as well here in New Delhi. We saw how the Speaker of the lower house of the Indian Parliament wrote to the Speaker or the President of the European Union Parliament as well. And of course, we have seen the comments by the European Union itself, which distance itself from what is happening in the European Union Parliament.
They clearly have distanced themselves. Now, Siddhant, what happens now that the British MEP Shafaq Mohammed just has a day left as member of European Parliament, since the UK leaves EU tomorrow in the historic Brexit?
Well, it's a poetic justice, and basically he will be leaving the parliament on Friday, and of course he wanted to see a vote at least to happen, but the only thing he could get was a 1 minute chance to speak, of course, against India, against the law which was passed by the Indian Parliament. Of course, he spoke on that, but by and large, that is the only thing he could do. In fact, when the resolution was passed that this voting should be deferred to March after the Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi's visit, he looked very disappointed, and largely now it seems the only thing which is going to happen is voting, because when the Indian External Affairs Minister goes there, he is bound to explain what India is doing, and it's not going to create a major refugee crisis in the region. And of course, we have seen how the Indian diplomats have been working overtime both in New Delhi and in Brussels, explaining what the CAA law is and how it is not in a sense going to cause a major upheaval in the subcontinent. We of course saw the other MEPs also speaking. Almost 14 MEPs spoke. Largely they were positive reactions, they were neutral reactions. In fact, one MEP also said, what is the point of discussing other countries in their own parliament? Of course, we saw the Pakistan origin British MEP speaking against India, but largely it looked like an empty house.
Absolutely. This is India's internal matter, and that is something India has maintained constantly. Let's hope that the External Affairs Minister is able to shape their perspective in India's favour. For now, thank you so much, Siddhant Sibal, for joining us.